This is gonna make you think one of two things. Either I'm really stupid, or freaking Joby tripods, man. Or your mind is about to be blown. So you know how there's different versions of Lightroom? Well, for the longest time, I just used Lightroom Classic. And sometimes if I was shooting on my smartphone, I would shoot with Lightroom Mobile. But I never had a use for like the newer version of Lightroom, like the Lightroom desktop version, until I got my new MacBook. Now, how does that change anything? Well, let me show you. So here I am inside of Lightroom, and these are some photos that we shot recently. Normally, I would just dump all of the photos onto my desktop, but sometimes I want to edit on my MacBook, but I don't want to keep all my files on my MacBook because the MacBook has limited space, and you know the R5 shoots 45 megapixels, and that's like 50 megabytes of photo. You know, 1,000, 2,000 photos could really quickly fill up the hard drive on my MacBook. So I keep all of my big photos on my desktop where I have lots of storage. Now, some of you might also know that Lightroom, if you have the mobile version or the desktop version, has their cloud service. And with their cloud service, you get 100 gigabytes of storage. And so I come into here and I finally sign in to my cloud service, which I've never done before. And this little cloud here starts syncing. And I'm like, well, that's silly. Because if you look over here into my folders, like you'll see I have like almost 100,000 photos. Like that would just take forever to sync. I'm like, I don't want to sync all of that. But that's not how it works. What you can do is you can actually tell Lightroom which one of your collections to sync. So if you've ever created collections of like maybe you have wedding photos or landscape photos or like your 5-star photos, you can tell Lightroom just to sync that. Okay, but still, that can be a lot of photos, and maybe you don't want to send them all to the cloud. And really, okay, what is the problem that we're solving here? So the point is I like to do all of my editing on my desktop. Sometimes when I'm out for the day, I'll like to edit a photo on Lightroom Mobile. But then sometimes, maybe I want to watch a TV show on the couch and I want to edit on my MacBook, but I don't want to have to put photos onto an external hard drive and move them around. So the cloud sync solves this problem, and I'm going to show you exactly what it does. So I'm just going to create a new collection. I'm going to go collection, create collection, and let's just call this sync to cloud. And what you'll notice is that it says right here, sync with Lightroom. Now, this only gets checked after you sign in and you tell your photos to start syncing. So any of the collections you've made already will not be synced with the cloud. So for this one, we're going to say yes, sync with Lightroom, create. And you can see it's already selected that photo because I had it selected. But now if I go down, you can see right here, it says sync to cloud, one photo, and it has this little icon, which is telling me that photo is syncing. But again, we run into the problem where these files are really big. Like I don't want to send gigabytes and gigabytes of data and waste all of my bandwidth and just consume the limited amount of space I have in the cloud. Because again, Adobe Lightroom only gives you 100 gigabytes. But actually, what it's syncing is the smart preview. So it doesn't send the full raw file, it just sends that really, really small smart preview. Why does this matter? Now, if I go into my MacBook, and I'm gonna go into the desktop version of Lightroom, not Lightroom Classic. If I open that up, how do I screen record on Mac? I do not know how to screen record on my Mac. Open QuickTime. How do I do that? QuickTime. Someone in the comments right now is screaming because they know how to do this and I don't. Press the stop button to stop recording. Oh, I see. All right, it's recording. Okay, so now when I go into the desktop version on my MacBook, I just go to, let's scroll down all the way down to my photos. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Now, when I scroll, you can see that that photo got sent from my desktop through the Adobe Cloud service and is now on my MacBook and actually on my mobile device if I was to log in. This is great because it actually consumes like no data. Like if you see, if I go back up to my desktop here, out of the 100 gigabytes, I've used 1 gigabyte and I've synced like 560 some odd photos. So this is great news if you're someone who has a desktop and has all their photos stored on it, but occasionally has photos that you want to bring with you. You don't have to put it on an external hard drive. You don't have to save them and re-upload them. You can do all that work on your MacBook, and then when you come back to your desktop, any of the edits that you made will be saved right to that photo. So I don't know, maybe I'm dumb for not understanding this, but this is a super useful tool and one that I just wanted to share with you. So if you like this video, do all the normal stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. I don't know, maybe people knew it already, and I'm just, because I've never had a laptop where I've run Lightroom. I've just always done it on my desktop. Ugh, whatever.